Tonight's really a celebration of transformation and healing of Stone Mountain. We gather as a national community to bear witness to the healing and the transformation that has happened in this place over time. For those of you who may not know, Stone Mountain at one time was a place of fear and hatred and division and pain. It was the founding place of the second Ku Klux Klan in 1915. But there's been a transformation. And that's what we're going to celebrate, the transformation. It was mentioned by Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968 in his I Have a Dream speech. You may have heard the words, "Let freedom ring" from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Well, if you look around and you see all the families here, you'd have to say, freedom did ring.
You know, Stone Mountain is one of those places, people were like, okay, you're going to Stone Mountain. What were you thinking when you chose that place? And it's like, I was thinking, haha, I can come anywhere I want, I can do what I want, I can go where I want, I can be who I want. You know, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, maybe it wasn't a place where we could come before. Maybe it was a place where people were sold and, you know, all of that. I can now come here without fear of any of that.
In 1998, the city of Stone Mountain elected a black mayor. In 2002, Coretta Scott King celebrated her 75th birthday here. African Americans are moving in abundance to Atlanta by choice as a place of family and community that they love. And Stone Mountain is now a place of connection, peace, family, renewal, and hope. And that's what we want to celebrate tonight.
We are about celebrating where injustices have turned to transformation. So we're excited about that. We're excited to be here. One of the things that Martin Luther King said all the time, I mean, he said it over and over and over again, and I wanna get it right. He said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And he said that over and over and over again.
And that is why I swore never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. We must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Sometimes we must interfere. When human lives are endangered, when dignity is in jeopardy, national borders and sensitivities become irrelevant. Wherever men and women are persecuted because of their race, religion, or political views, that place must, at that moment, become the center of the universe.
Good concerns. We gather here as one people on a journey in our different communities. We are people, the color of the medicine wheel. Color of the medicine wheel. And I'm deeply grateful.
One of the things that we talk about a lot is when injustice happens, no matter who it's happening to, we need to sort of name it. Because if we leave it quiet, if we don't name it, then people are not going to know that. When you get your cultural feelings hurt, when injustice happens, you got to call it out. You got to make sure that people really know that that injustice is happening.
We are witness and we bring our spirit of healing. For all the sexually abused and for the sex offenders who abuse them.
To my brother, my half brother, who was killed because of the people he chose to be friends with.
For all couples who love each other but aren't allowed to get married.
Juana Espinosa was taken from her family by ICE agents last week. Leaves 3 children without a mother because she's been sent back to Mexico.
To the young men and women who are dying on our streets due to handguns that were not meant for hunting, but were created specifically to kill.
But my spirit presses on with my sisters and brothers far too many of Latino descent who are victims of a racist, unfair immigration policy.
For all citizens of countries that are oppressed by their governments.
I'd like to put before you the families of the miners at Sago Mines who died because other people valued money more than they did human beings.
My nieces and nephews who suffer because their parents are involved in substance abusing.
My grandfather, the late Adam Big Spring, who was not allowed in a grocery store because he was Native American. There was a sign outside the store that said no dogs and no Indians.
Mom, single mom, raised 5 crazy kids, and grew up in this. Come to this country and couldn't speak a word of English, and being able to be successful woman and a loving care mom. So, and for the young men and women who grew up without adults, and so.
I want to say the injustice for Mariah Friedlander. I've really had a hard time letting this go, but she suffered some injustice at the school that we fought so hard for, and she was kicked off the sports school bus one day. I mean, it was like a Rosa Parks thing, you know. A non-tribal member took her bus, or took her seat on the bus. They were going to a sports event, and she suffered a real large injustice, and that's what I bring here.
Bear witness.
Whatever is sad this evening is put to rest. So as each day comes, when that sun comes up, it is a new blessing and a new uplifting for each and every one of you to travel your road as you go on.
And we thank you for bringing your spirit of healing. We need to congratulate each other for bringing our spirits of healing to this work.